Alright guys, so with Black Panther Wakanda Forever showing up, coming soon, and with a certain character coming up, I decided to finally read this comic and do a review of it. This is another book I got at a very special comic shop called Tate's. It's where I got Captain America, American Nightmare. And like American Nightmare, this was a book that seemed to follow me everywhere. This was a book that I'd always see in like discount shelves and whatever, and when I finally saw this, I was like, fuck it, I'll finally buy it. And I'm actually really glad I did, because this is a really fucking good book. So this is Submariner: The Depths. This is a Marvel Knights book by Peter Milligan and artwork by Asad Ribic. This was a book that, like I said, had been following me everywhere, and I was always curious about it. And someone once told me it's kind of like a horror story. It's actually not so much a superhero story as it is like a straight-up horror comic. And I'm like, okay, I'll give it a look. And this is exactly what it is. This is straight up a horror book with Namor the Submariner. This book basically is set during the 1950s and follows a character named Randolph Stein, who is known for being a great scientist and skeptic who basically goes out and disproves myths. And when he gets a message from the government saying, hey, we've got someone who's gone rogue and he thinks he's found Atlantis, we want you to kind of prove or disprove that Atlantis does or does not exist. So he and a crew go into a submarine and go into the depths of the Mariana Trench, and where Namor is waiting for them. Now, first off, we gotta talk about continuity, because, like, the thing of it is, like, people know who Namor is. Like, that, like, you may be saying, well, it's 1950s, people don't know that. This is long before the age of the Avengers and whatnot. And I'm like, yeah, but, like, superheroes were in the 40s. Like, this tries to, like, disprove, like beings like this exist. I'm like, what about Captain America? And Namor was known in the 40s. He fought alongside the invaders. Hell, the dude literally... there was even, like, Nazi Atlanteans called the Human. We know Atlantis exists in the Marvel Universe. Or at least know Namor is real. So that's kind of the thing, but then again, it's Marvel Knights, so the continuity is really, it's only canon if it's popular enough. Just ask Marvel Knights Spider-Man. Anyway, so, yeah, that's kind of the thing, is that this is you could kind of see it as an out-of-canon story. Because the whole time I was like, yeah, people know who Namor is. Like, they know from the 1940s and 50s. Like, yeah, you had superheroes out there in the world in the 40s. He was probably well known. He was there fighting the Axis. But, whatever. Alright. Again, it's only canon if it's popular. So this is kind of a non-canon story. What I love most about this book is that it reads like an H.P. Lovecraft book. It really does. This is like I said, this is a straight-up horror book that I could have read and done a review on in October, but whatever. This works just as well. And this book is literally, like I said, a straight-up horror, because this really delves into, like, deep-sea horror. And I have to believe Peter Milligan was a fan of H.P. Lovecraft, because this is straight up a Lovecraftian story, in that we're dealing with the unknown, we're dealing with the deep sea, we're dealing with outside forces that are messing with your sanity. That's what I really like about it. It really does hit all the bases of a Lovecraft story, and I'm a big fan of H.P. Lovecraft stories. So this is very, like, Lovecraftian. This book is also very interesting in that, like, it also deals with deep sea sicknesses, like how the dark water, like, and also deep sea pressure messes with your mental state. Like, they actually talk about stuff, and it makes me wonder if Milligan did some research on that. It really does make me wonder if Peter Milligan did do, like, some research for that. Like, I am generally curious if he did, like, some research for, like, underwater psychoses and whatnot, which do affect sailors. And also, god damn, is Asad Ribic a great artist. Like, I always, like, Ribic is always a great artist, but he is really good, and he's really good at kind of doing shadows, which, again, works very well in this book. There's a lot of, like, just deep shadows and, like, an uneasiness. Like, look at that. Just all these shadows. It clearly shows, like, underwater and how well it is. It's very well done, and Ribic's artwork really kind of casts that whole thing. He's also really good at facial expressions, especially when people are going insane or starting to lose their minds over seeing Namor, who Namor himself doesn't say a word. He does not say, he's like a monster in the shadows, and good lord, there are some like legit moments where I was reading this comic where I was like, oh shit, where I was like, there he is, like just in the periphery. Or there's like one great scene where they're talking and you see like Namor's hand on the window, and you don't catch it at first. Like you don't catch it at first, and then you look at like, oh shit. Yeah, and there's also like other great moments where if you really look hard enough, you see like his shadow, or you see like his like an image of him, or what you think is an image of him. And that also is a great credit to the artist and to the artwork in here, where it really plays with even your mind of, are you seeing Namor or are you not? So that's really cool. Like, I really do like this take, because Namor is not really a hero. He's not really a villain. This is a point where he's trying to protect Atlantis from being seen. So I really do like that. And I like how the sailors treat Namor like they call him the Deep Man. They call him, they don't call him Submariner. Well, they do call him the Submariner, because that's one of his he goes by one of those names, but he also goes by, like, the Horror of the Deep and all that, like, all these cool, like, Lovecraftian names. I really do like that. And again, it's really much that H.P. Lovecraft impact we have in this book. So I really do appreciate that. All in all, even if you're not like a fan of Namor, I would say check this out. If you love like horror comics and done with Marvel superheroes, if you're looking for like something to read that's about if you're looking to like get into Namor comics or something of that degree, or if you want to read like some kind of cool little horror book, I would say go look. This isn't cheap. This is a pretty cheap book these days. I found it's like literally it followed me everywhere in discount comics. Everywhere I went, this was in a discount bin or discount somewhere until finally I gave in and bought it. So this was great. I love this. It's probably my favorite Namor book. Then again, there's not a lot of great Namor stories out there, so it's kind of easy for this to take the cake. So yeah, I highly recommend Submariner the Depths, or Namor the Depths, whatever, pick your poison. I'm surprised this hasn't been reprinted for Marvel. I'm surprised this wasn't reprinted for Marvel when they were getting closer to Black Panther Wakanda Forever. But, alright, whatever. But you guys, so hope you all enjoyed this review. If you've read Submariner the Depths, let me know what you guys thought of it in the comments below. Other than that, I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.